I noticed there is a fight going on between leftists, and the drama or the fight is whether IdPol, identity politics, is good or bad for the left. Like, does it harm us? On one side, you have Caleb Maupin, who's not a leftist. Please let me emphasize that Caleb Maupin is not a leftist. I mean, there is a lot of evidence why this guy is not a leftist. I made a video about this. You can watch it. So Caleb Maupin is on one side. Peter Coffin is on this side. Angie Speaks is on this side. So, and few other people. And on the other side, which is being attacked by this side, is RedTube as a whole. But in reality, there is no other side, because the RedTube, whoever that is not answering to them. They're just ignoring them. And I think that this is bad, because there are, I think, many people in between who do not understand why these people are wrong. People start to question, like, they are, yeah, but what if they are right, and stuff like that. So it's very important to talk about that. And that's why I also asked Angie Speaks on Twitter, let's talk about that. I invite you. I'm going to come on your show, or you come to me on my channel, you know, and we talk about that, because I think it's a very important issue. But she didn't want to do that. So now I have to talk all by myself, and yeah, it's no problem. I can do that, you know. First of all, I don't want to talk about the fact that it's a good thing that people can decide their own identity by themselves, because why should you be able to tell other people what identity they have? Of course, everybody can decide about their own identity by themselves. You know? I mean, if you are against people forming their own identity, which is a human right, then you are against human rights. So if you are against LGBTQ movement or the community or the people, you are against human rights, you know? And also, if you are against all of that, you are not really left, you know? Or at least you are socially not a leftist. You're not a social leftist, at least, yeah? You're maybe something like a conservative socialist or something like that, you know? And I will assume that the people who are against, who think that, who fear that the trans movement, for example, or the trans people, that they do a harm to our leftist politics, that they are afraid, they fear that they will do a harm, so they are phobe, so they are transphobe, actually. But let's say that they are not transphobic, let's say that they are just thinking in a purely tactical way. But they are still wrong. That's my point, okay? So let me explain it. As far as I understood it, these people say that identity politics are wrong because identity politics are a distraction from our class struggle, from our fight for class equality. Some people would call that class reductionism. I would also call it class reductionism. Class reductionism is basically the belief that the class issue overrules every other fight on our side. Also, these people often believe that economic equality would bring all equality. But that's not true. Because, you know, you can have economic equality and still be a transphobe. You can still be a racist. You know, you are part, like we spoke before, you're a part of a worker co-op and you own the means of production, but you're still a racist. It's possible, you know. And so we have to fight both of these. And I also don't support the thing that, you know, if you fight on one front, like for feminism or for black people, and you fight for trans people, that we are all split in different divisions. That's not necessarily true. We are not split in different divisions because we are only split in different divisions if we don't support each other. If we support each other, we are many movements who stick together. That could be very intelligent and very strong, you know. And it's already happening, like I said, because many trans people are socialists already, you know. Many trans people are socialists because they understand that socialism or the leftist movement, they are leftists because they understand that the leftist movement is on their side. That we, as leftists, we support them. And that's why they are on our side. And that's very important. And they are so much appreciated on our side. Also, many black people. movement for black people's rights, you know, they are also, many of them are leftists, are socialists. I mean, look at the history. The black movements, human rights movements from the 60s and stuff like 50s, stuff like that, 70s, you know, like Martin Luther King and Black Panthers and stuff like that. All of them, they all were socialists. You know, they all advocated for socialism. And also now when Black Lives Matter was there, the right-wing propaganda on Black Lives Matter was, of course, these people are a bunch of socialists. They are all socialists. Yes, they are, and that's good. You know, let's support them. That's very good to support these movements, you know. Why should we distance ourselves from these people? I mean, we are leftists. Of course, we support minorities. Of course, we support suppressed people. Of course, we are against oppression. We are leftists. But also tactically, if you just think tactically like Tankies do, I know that, why would we do that? Why would we distance ourselves from these movements? This makes no sense. There is only one reason I see there why we should distance ourselves from these movements. And that's because the right-wingers will never ever agree with us and side with us as long as we fight for trans rights, gay rights, black people rights and stuff like that. Feminism, stuff like that, you know? But this is not going to happen, you know? So why would I give up large movements tactically? Why would I give up large movements that are on our side so I can reach people who are opposing us? What the fuck is that? That's not tactics. That's splitting our movement. That's very stupid, you know? Don't you ever side with the right-wingers who tell you, we will be on your side and fight for worker rights? If you give up the trans people, if you give up the black people, if you give up the feminists and stuff like that, never ever do that. They just split you. They just want to split you. They will never be on your side if they talk like that. And also, if you want to be on our side, one of our principles is we fight against oppression. And these groups are marginalized and oppressed. And we need to help these people. And we need to fight against any oppression. This makes us leftists. So if you want to be on our side and fight for worker rights, you are very welcome, but you have to accept our standards. Okay, this is very important. We are not going to give up our standards so you side with us, because we are just losers if we do that. You know, I'm not going to give up my principles so you like me. That's not the right way to do, you know. This is also what you do when you say like, you know, but we cannot support trans people and stuff like that, because neoliberalism is taking all these identity issues, this identity politics, and they're trying to make an identity out of that by selling you products. You buy the right product and then you are SJW. You buy the right product and then you are for human rights. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is what neoliberals do. This is what capitalism is doing. We don't have to go to neoliberalism, but this is what capitalism does. Yeah, it takes away your identity through alienation. It destroys your identity as a human being, and then it tries to fill this void with products. That's true, but that's a problem. But what you're going to do about it? Just go to the people who are thinking about their identity and fighting for their identity, and just tell them, oh, forget identity, because you could end up buying products, which is not the issue, because most of the people who are fighting for their identity, they don't do this through consumerism. This is not the issue. This is not what's happening. This is not reality. This is what could happen in your fear. But this is not what's really happening on a large scale. This is not our biggest problem. And even if it would be happening like this, like you say, is it really clever just to go to these people and to say, you know what, you have a problem and you are going the wrong way because you use consumerism to solve this problem. This is never going to happen. So fuck you, leave that, leave all of your problems, forget all of this, forget your identity, forget everything. Come to our side, let's fight a class war. You think this helps? I mean, shouldn't you somehow try to help the people who like are thinking about their identity, who have been oppressed their whole life, and go there and talk to them about their issues that really just like matter to them and support them there? This would make them our friends even more. This is what we should do. This is the right thing to do. And it's really, it annoys me, you know? It annoys me to see people on the left who come up to me and say, I'm for trans rights, but I'm not trans, but do we have to talk about that all the time? There are seriously leftists who say that, you know? This is so wrong. You don't understand what's going on. The right is attacking the trans community right now. They have just like not accepted, but they shifted from attacking the gay people to attacking the trans people. And now they attack the trans people all the time, and they make a fuss about it. They are like, oh, the trans people, like before they were like, oh, the gay people are going to make all our children gay. Now it's the trans people who are going to make all our children trans, you know. They are the ones with their big media outlets, with their big YouTubers who are waging this war. They have started this war, they are pushing this forward, and we as leftists, we must protect these people who they are attacking. We cannot decide which war we fight. We cannot say they attack a part of our community, black people, trans people, they attack them, but we are going to fight a class war. We are going to ignore all of that and we are going to fight a class war. This is not possible. The right has a much bigger movement, they are much stronger. We cannot decide the gameplay right now. Imagine it like a soccer game. They have a team of 11 players. They have the ball. They are very strong. We have like 5 players and we don't have the ball. We need to defend. So they attack all the time from all sides. They start shooting. And we have to defend as best as we can. We have to play a lot better than they do. We have to be smarter. We have to be faster. We have to be technically better. We have to do our best so we can beat them in their attempts to beat us. Okay? And we cannot just stand there and say, yeah, we don't have the ball. Yeah, they are attacking. But let's focus on their goal. Let's go over there, all 5 people stand in front of their goal and shoot them a goal. You cannot do that because you don't have the ball. Okay? You don't have the ball. They have the ball. They have the ball and they are attacking and we have to defend, you know? I'm just speaking tactically because Tankies like to think things very tactically, you know? This is the tactics. You have the wrong tactics, my friend, you know? You have to defend, don't you see? They are attacking parts of our communities and you say, don't think about that. Let's just fight for class. This is wrong. I think that this is very, very wrong, you know? This is also a thing like these tanky YouTubers. They just stand there and they are like, well, if you don't read the books and if you don't speak the Marxist truth directly to the people, then you are wrong. You are just a distraction from our goals. No, we need a pipeline. We need a pipeline. Think of people like Hasanabi. Yeah? The right has PewDiePie. They have PewDiePie. We have Hasanabi. Hasanabi, who calls himself a himbo, you know, he is a fun dude. He's our leftist Chad. He's a very, very fun dude and I like to watch his videos. And of course, he's not promoting like the deep Marxist analysis there, like talking about the deep philosophy of Marxism. No, but he reaches a shitload of people and he brings them closer to socialism, yeah? And from there, other YouTubers can take over. In this way, you can talk about gaming. You can talk about building tables, you know, if you know how to build a table. You can be a musician online who plays music and you talk about socialism, you know. If you start it, if you see it from this perspective, then you can have a big movement and then you will understand that you also can talk about trans issues which are more important than table making and gaming and everything else because people are dying. I'm repeating again, people are dying. We have to support these people. We have to protect these people, you know. This is the point that you have to understand. Build a pipeline. You can talk about trans issues. You can talk about, like I said, gaming, shopping. Talk about what you want, but then pull people inside to socialism. Yeah, to the deep theory. And the people who want to know the deep theory, then you, dear Tankies, can be there. No need to be transphobic. You can be on the end of all of this pipeline where people just like radicalize with you because you talk some very deep fucking theory there, and you discuss how page 327 of Das Kapital should have sounded in reality, and why Marx made a mistake because he was sick on that day, because you know everything about Marx, because you're Marxologists, you know? Understand that you could be very useful for us, but so you just fight the leftist movement, and this is stupid. This is very stupid. If you fight the trans community, if you fight the LGBT movement, LGBTQ movement, sorry, if you fight the, you know, feminists, if you fight all of identity politics, let's call it like that, then you are just the biggest harm to our leftist movement that is imaginable. Okay? Please understand that. That's all I wanted to say. And if any of you Marxologists want to, maybe I should have called you Marxologists from the beginning, because it's better than Tankies, and I think you could like that name. Please contact me. I would gladly talk to you, discuss these things with you, because hey, we should learn from each other. We should talk with each other. Maybe I'm wrong about all of this, but I don't think so. I think I'm very right, and I'm very happy that many people think the same way. Most of the left thinks the same way I do, and I think that's very important. Not because I think like that, but because it's important to think like that.